Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to talk about music. As you know, I'm obsessed with good quality music and good quality musical equipment, audio equipment. I don't consider myself to be an audiophile because I also like the design and look of things, but they have to produce good sound quality. So I went to see a friend of mine who has an amazing sound system, and because of that I have gone through this whole exercise that I'm going to share with you. So thank you, Robert, for making me go through this. Anyhow, he came to my house and he said, yes, your sound system is really great, it's Bang & Olufsen, but there's something missing, there's not enough depth. And I was like, oh my god, I need to go fix it. So I tried a lot of things and I believe I managed to fix the issue, and now the sound is as best as this system can produce. And the main reason for all those issues was that I let my receiver manipulate the output. Now I bypassed everything, so the music is coming through to the speakers without any modulation, without any amplification, anything. So it's just as it was produced, and now I can hear every instrument and it's crystal clear. While going through this exercise, I realized that I was using Spotify as my main streaming service, and everyone is talking about other services that produce lossless quality. I did some tests online to see if my ears and my brain has the capacity to see the difference, or to feel the difference, or hear the difference of music between lossless and ordinary recording. And I found out that I am about 60% there. I'm not 100%, but it also depends on the recording and how that was originally recorded and reproduced, and all the various cables and instruments and DAC converters that are in the mix. So I got a subscription to Apple Music. Spotify, I already had one. I got a subscription to Deezer, SoundCloud and Tidal to compare all of them and hear the sound and see which one is the best. So to do that I went a very long way, or an extra mile. I started off comparing all of them with these headphones first, then with these, then with these little Bang & Olufsen E8 Sport. Then I played the music through this Biolit 17 that I have, and I played the music through my Bang & Olufsen sound system that I have at home. So I have 5 Bang & Olufsen speakers connected to a Yamaha receiver. All it's doing is acting as a DAC converter, so it takes the sources and then I can switch the input from one to the other, and I use it as a volume control because these speakers don't have any volume controls. So everything that comes to them, they have built-in amplifiers and they just throw it at you at full blast. So that's my setup, and I made another video that shows what that setup is. But with these headphones, these are the new H95 by Bang & Olufsen, £700, so pretty pricey, but amazing headphones. And what I did was I tested all the sound quality using all the streaming services through Bluetooth and then through a cable. And I used my laptop as the player, and I used my iPhone as a player because I thought they might have different DAC converters and the quality of music that they will produce. I also went and bought a CD because to listen to the music through this system and through these headphones and things, and comparing it to these online services, I wanted to know whether the CD is better or the same. So it was a very long-winded process. It took me about a couple of weeks because sometimes I just couldn't tell the difference and I would get exhausted by all the variations. because I listened to Rolling Stones, Led Zeppelin, Ozzy Osbourne, Beatles, so went to ABBA, Boney M, different types of artists recorded over different decades using different technologies and different studios, and coming all the way to the modern stuff. And this guy is, his name is Nicholas Sahl, NicklasSahl. He's from Denmark, and I found him on the Bang & Olufsen website because they were doing some live recording of music, and his music is fantastic and recorded very beautifully. So when you play it on a good system, you can hear every instrument. So it's one of the modern things, but I listen to rap, rock, pop, dance, trance, classical, everything, because I just wanted to have like for like comparison to see which platform I should choose, and then I can stick with it. In the meantime, Apple made an announcement that they are going to now put lossless music onto their platform, which is amazing. So I have paid for a 12-month subscription with Apple anyway, so that would be great. Anyhow, while I'm talking about these streaming providers, I had a shocking experience with Tidal. So I subscribed to all of these with clicking on their trial buttons, and all services accepted my trial except for Tidal. They charged me for it. £20, not a lot of money, but still I wanted to do a trial and compare. So I wrote to them saying, it was a trial and you've charged me for it. And then I got a very rude response from customer service saying, it's because it seems like your account has used a trial in the past, and therefore we have charged you, and we can see that you've played the music, so now we can't even refund you. And I was just thinking, well done guys, you just took £20, but you lost a customer. Even if I was going to use Tidal after that nasty email and that attitude, because if when I clicked on the link for a trial, it should have said you have already used your trial in the past, so you cannot have another trial. And I would have said, yes, sure, I will pay for it. But they took my money without my permission because I was clicking on a trial link. So goodbye Tidal. Your music wasn't great anyway. So anyhow, going back to all the types of streaming services. So I don't know how I can convey my experience and my findings through this medium, because obviously I can't play the music, and because it will be played through YouTube, you won't know the difference the way I hear it. So I can just tell you from my experience in words what I was feeling and experiencing. So there's so many things to consider when you're comparing streaming services, because you may play the same song through 3 different services and they may all sound exactly the same, and it's because the recording as it was done originally wasn't good enough, and therefore the output isn't good enough. So you have to really be careful and choose artists who spent a lot of money and used amazing studios and paid a lot of attention to this. But if you go back to people like Ozzy Osbourne and Beatles and Rolling Stones and Led Zeppelin and big artists who are icons, they spent time, money and energy recording good quality stuff. Similarly, classical music, if you play it using a vinyl or a CD and it was recorded properly by a decent recording company, then yes, you can experience that. Then there are the cables, because I also tried these, by the way, which I didn't mention. They're not too bad for 20-30 pound headphones. If the only problem is that the sound leaks, because I have very big ears or ear holes, so I have to put cushions on top of them and then put them in my ear, and then the sound quality is brilliant. So I think if you're not that bothered and you want really good sound quality, you buy the original Apple ones. They're very good. But I can't still decide between these two which one is my go-to, so I'm keeping both. A friend of mine wants to buy these off me and I'm like, no, I don't want to keep them. But basically these ones are really deep and very, very clear, and they isolate all the noise around you, so you're in this little cocoon, this little bubble listening to music. These ones are very crisp and they have that extra, I don't know, je ne sais quoi. It's one of those, because it's sound, it's hard to describe, because the way I hear it might be different to someone else. But these are more crisp and clear, and these are more deep, and I can't decide. So I'm keeping both of them, because when I want to listen to something and I'm not happy with the quality, I can switch to the other one. So what I found is that when you have identified the correct source and the correct music and the correct medium that the music is going to flow through and the right speakers, you can really enjoy it. I'm sure all of you know that already, so I haven't told you anything clever. But what I did was, once I figured out the medium and the channel or the path that the music was going to be transferred from, then I started switching between various elements. So what I did was I plugged in the cable and used my phone, because I realized that the iPhone and my laptop, the Mac, they produce exactly the same sound. I don't know how they've done this in this little device. The DAC converter is doing a great job. And I also plugged in my headphones into the sound system, and in all honesty, my ears couldn't tell the difference between the phone and that. But I could tell the difference on the phone when I switched from one service to another. So I'll walk you through these 4 streaming services one by one and explain my experience. First of all, let's talk about Apple. So Apple Music uses AAC as the codec, which they use to compress the audio. And it is very good, and for some reason it sounds better than MP3s. And I don't know why, because I'm not a technologist. I don't know how these bit rates are created and compressed. But when I listened to an MP3 for the same song and I played an AAC, there was a remarkable difference. And I could tell that the Apple stuff was definitely more clear. But when you compare Apple and Spotify, you can again see the difference, that I think they're both using non-lossless, like ordinary streaming. And Spotify, which I've been using for so many years, I feel guilty saying this, but it felt a bit inferior in terms of the sound quality compared to the Apple Music. And I have never been a fan of Apple Music because of the interface and how annoying it was to find things, but I think they have refined it so much that this time when I was testing it, it just seemed very natural and everything seemed to work. So maybe my first experience several years ago when it first came out is different to what it is now, because now it seemed fine. But Spotify, even though they have a big catalog and I have all my playlists and things, I'll come to that, you can sync all the playlists. So then I decided that, okay, if I had to choose one of the 2 services that are not lossless, just ordinary, then I would have to switch to Apple, because Spotify isn't giving me what I need. Then the other issue that arose is that my receiver is connected to the internet directly. So it has a built-in Spotify receiving software. So if I play music from my phone on Spotify and I say play it through my home system, it doesn't come to my phone and go to the house system. It just goes straight from the internet to that. So it is very good quality. But then, using Apple Music, I was using AirPlay and it was coming to my phone and then going to the sound system. And I thought, maybe that's causing an issue. And in all honesty, I couldn't tell. It just sounded perfect. But then I figured out, because I have an Apple TV, which is also connected to the sound system, I can use my iTunes or music app on the Apple TV to feed directly into the receiver. And when I did that, oh my God, Spotify and Apple Music, there was a massive difference. because both of them were coming directly to the receiver rather than being transmitted through the phone. So once I concluded that I like Apple Music more than Spotify in this comparison, I moved on to the lossless services, and they are Deezer and Tidal. The interface of Deezer is really good and very intuitive and seemed to flow. The sound quality, flawless, amazing. And they have this 360 app as well, so if the music is recorded in a spatial audio style with several speakers around you, and these Bang & Olufsen's headphones somehow have the capability to do that. I don't know how, don't ask me, but you can hear the 360 effect if you have those headphones on. So yes, Deezer is fantastic. Tidal, I didn't think it was better than Deezer, maybe on par, but not amazing. And plus my experience with them kind of spoilt my real effort to figure out. I played the music and it was, blah, nothing wow. But I found this really nice service online, which you pay, I think, $40 a year. And you can tell all the sources of your music streaming services. So I wanted all my music across all these platforms to be consistent. And it would be very hard to move playlists and type them in manually. So this service just picks up all your playlists and favorites and everything and puts them into the other service. So I synchronized all 4 of them so I could just quickly go from one to the other and compare. Some of you must think I'm nuts, but I'm nuts when it comes to music. It really bugs me, and once it gets into my head, I can't get it out and I have to then resolve it. So I managed to resolve it, and at the moment I'm listening to Deezer as my main streaming service because it is lossless and it's amazing. It works on CarPlay in the car, so all these services, which is great when you're in the car, you don't have to do anything. With Apple Music, I got it through my mobile service provider EE, and for 6 months I don't even have to pay for the data that Apple Music uses, so they must have some deal with Apple to promote it. But that's kind of nice because when I'm in the car and I'm playing music, if I'm listening to new things, I can just click download and keep on streaming without using my data. But generally what I found was that if I was to categorize them one by one, I would say for me Deezer is at the very top, then Tidal and Apple are on the same par, and I'm waiting to see when Apple bring out their lossless music whether that will beat Tidal, because at the moment when I listen to 2 songs, even though Apple Music isn't lossless and Tidal is, sometimes it's exactly the same and I blame it on the recording studio. But then Spotify, you can feel that the music is great, it's really well balanced and the sound is amazing, but it's little hollow. There's not enough depth in it. It seems superficial. So you hear the stuff, but there's no space around it. The other thing I noticed is that when you switch on the noise cancellation on most headphones, and if you turn it up to max, then it takes away the sound quality a bit, because when you're listening to music sitting in an auditorium or a concert hall live, when the instruments stop, there is that white noise, the silence that we can all hear, which is stuff, just even air moving. But when you have these, when there's a silence between instruments, it's just deafening silence, and there's nothing between, there's no space. So you don't feel like you're surrounded by music. You feel like the music comes and then stops, and then there's just nothing, which is a bit bizarre feeling, especially when you're listening to classical music, because when the violin stops and there's just like, has the song ended? Because there's no white noise, there's nothing in the back. But when you turn off the noise cancellation or you turn it down, then you can hear those little things that make you feel like, yes, it's still going. I don't know if this video was of any use to you. This was my own experiment, and I wanted to share it with people because I know there are people out there like me who are obsessed with this kind of stuff. One thing I would say is that if you have any systems, equalizers, amplifiers, whatever there is, turn them off, put them onto neutral, and then listen to the music, because I've had these speakers for many years and I have been listening to music that wasn't perfect until recently, when I turned everything off, because it had built-in enhancers and, I don't know, sound manipulators and blah blah blah. I don't know what it does, but basically it was trying to enhance the music to give me a better experience, but in reality it was taking away so many things from it. When I bypassed everything and put it onto neutral, suddenly the speakers livened up, and I realized that, oh my god, there's more to these speakers than I thought. I'm still tempted to buy the new Bang & Olufsen Biolab, I don't know what they're called, I think they're 28, because I have 18s. They are so amazing, so beautiful, and they sound so good, but they're so expensive. So yeah, if anyone wants to buy all of these, I can sell the whole set and maybe I can then add some money and buy. I'm just joking, but yes. So thanks for watching. Hope this was of some use and you don't have to go through this exercise yourself. Whatever headphones you have, if you want to enjoy lossless music, make sure the headphones are good quality, and if they're not very good quality, then use a cable, because the Bluetooth transmission has limited data rate and it won't work as well. And go for Deezer. Actually, they have a 3-month free trial. All the others are doing 1-month free trial. Deezer are doing 3 months, so go try it out. I'm sure you won't be disappointed. And yeah, thanks for watching.